first encounter that you described with the person you knew as Big Baby, was anyone else with him at that time? When I came in contact with Big Baby? The first time you described. Yeah, I came in contact with him on the yard. Deloyd was with him. That was it, in the yard. Did you have any other contacts? A second contact with the person you knew as Big Baby? Judge, I'm going to subject to him leading his witness again. Your Honor, he said that he had 2 encounters, and I asked him about the first one. Now I am asking him about the second. Overruled. Just keep that in mind as you go forward. Yes. Yes, sir. Can you tell us about the second one? Oh, we was at Hunt, Elan Hunt Correctional Facility. I was sitting down on the yard, and I noticed an object came at my head from the gate. So when I turned around, like, what kind of game somebody playing with me? It was like, ha, laughed. I'm the new beast. I'm like, man, I don't want to hear all that. And I just walked off. I can't hear him. Could you repeat that last answer? I was sitting down on the yard, and I felt an object came at my head from the fence. What was the object? It was a basketball. And tell us what happened. Man, who was this playing with me like this? And I turned around, and he was like, ha, he laughed. Yeah, man, I'm the new beast. Who said that? Big Baby told me, I'm the new beast. What did that mean to you? I'm going to object what it meant to him, Judge. Sustain. Who is Beast? That's my uncle. Did you have any other encounters with Duda Man after the first one you just described? That's the last 2 times me and him ever bumped into each other through the Broad Street situation and Central Lockup situation. Thank you, Mr. Arnold. I have no further questions, Your Honor. And I believe we discussed that we're going to, and you still want to wait? Yes, ma'am, I do. We're going to recess. So who is our first witness? Oh, wait. I know Mr. Arnold, obviously. He's already on the stand. Yes, ma'am, good morning. How are you doing? Good morning. Your Honor, were you saying redirect? No, you can open direct again and ask him the questions about that conviction. All right. Thank you. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. You may be seated. Mr. Page? Thank you. Good morning, Mr. Arnold. Yeah, good morning. How you doing, Mr. Page? Just remind you, you're still under oath. Yes, sir. Just have a couple of questions for you. Yes, sir. Mr. Arnold, is it not true that you have a prior conviction in 2001 for distribution of marijuana? Is it not true? Isn't that true? Yes, it's true. Yes, sir. And your present charges are what? My present charges is theft and aggravated assault. Is it simple robbery? Your Honor, I would object. Never mind. I withdraw the objection. Yes, sir. It was an upscale theft that they said they turned into a simple robbery. The district attorney, but it was a theft charge. Have you been promised anything in relation to your testimony and your charges? No, sir. Are you expecting anything from the government for your testimony? No, sir. Nothing at all. Thank you, sir. Mr. Arnold, I would like to begin by reviewing your criminal record. You just told Mr. Page that your first felony conviction happened in 2001, and that was for distribution of marijuana, correct? Yes, sir. And then I believe in 2006, you pled guilty to attempted possession with the intent to distribute marijuana on September the 15th, 2006, and got a 7.5-year sentence. Do you remember that one? Yes, sir. And then a case 475-120, you pled guilty to attempted possession of crack cocaine, and you got 1 year in the Department of Corrections. Do you remember that? Yes, sir. You are what is known in criminal district court as a multiple bill, correct? Yes, sir. You're a triple bill right now, correct? Yes, sir. And you currently have a simple robbery charge facing you in Judge Ben Willard's court in Section C. Isn't that true? Yeah, it's true, Your Honor, sir. But it was a theft charge. It was a simple robbery. But that's not how the district attorney sees it. They've charged you with simple robbery. Isn't it true? That's true. And that case was even set just as recent as last week, correct? Recent as last week? Last Friday? Yes, sir. And it's been continued to August 28th till after this trial is over. Isn't that true? Yes, sir. You're familiar with the multiple bill statute? Yes, I am familiar with it. I also did my time in the Department of Corrections. I admit that I did wrong, and everybody entitled to a second chance at life, and I had a second chance at life. But just so we're clear, you know that if you're convicted of this simple robbery charge that's now in Judge Willard's court, you're a mandatory lifer, aren't you? That's something I have to let God deal with, sir. I didn't understand. That's something I have to let God deal with. Can I take your answer for yes, you're looking at life in prison? That's something I have to let God deal with. But you are indeed doing that. You are facing life in prison, right? I look higher to God. Okay, were you looking higher to God when you committed this simple robbery? Sir, were you looking to this higher authority when you committed this simple robbery? Well, it wasn't a simple robbery. I was under the influence of alcohol, and sometimes it can cause you to go off into the wrong stage. Okay, but you seemed pretty confident a moment ago that it was just a theft and not a simple robbery. It was a theft. Let me finish the question. Were you high on alcohol when it happened? Yes, sir. I was under the influence of alcohol, and it's stated in the police report. And the difference between a theft and simple robbery is they allege that you use force in taking something from somebody. Isn't that true? Yeah, but they said that I shook some champagne bottle up or whatever and celebrated and then tried to set the table down. I just reached for my chair was back and they just labeled it as a theft. When I got to court, they just said they wanted to let it up and put it as a simple robbery, so. And I believe you also said that you have an aggravated assault charge pending as well? Yes, sir. You used a gun on somebody? No, it was a self-defense at Maroney. It was on Elysian Fields where a Mexican charged me with a knife, and from there I retrieved my son's BB gun, who was sitting in the back seat with me, to get him off me. They have it on tape. I got you. Okay. So you're looking at, perhaps, going to Angola for the rest of your life, right? That's something I have to let God judge me of, sir. You're in need of some pretty serious help. I just answered to the guard upstairs. And are you in Orleans Parish Prison right now? No, sir. Where are you? I'm housed in Tangipahoa Parish. You're under the marshal's supervision right now, right? Yes, sir. Let's talk about the timing of your coming forward with the information that you shared with this jury yesterday. You claimed that sometime prior to Travis Arnold's death, Byron Jones told you he was going to kill your uncle, correct? Yes, that's correct. And you claim that this happened a couple of months before your uncle was killed, isn't that correct? Yes, sir. Can you be more specific for us? Yes, I can be more specific. What do you need for me to say? Well, let's say, can you give me a date? A date? I can't give you a date right on time because I was serving time in a correctional center. But I can tell you how it occurred and we'll get to that. All right.